So good morning, beloveds. Good morning, beloveds. Today's inspiration is on love. Just love. Love as a greater awareness of the meaning and function in our life and in the world at large. This world which surrounds us is appearing to be just the opposite, A warring of ideas, of words, and of agreements. And all in the name of what? Doesn't look like the kind of love that I want. Does it for you? I'd rather buy a ticket for a trip on any emotional railroad of outer appearances. Would you rather buy a ticket for a trip of any emotional railroad of outer appearances? No. I prefer to jump into a state of wondering, to imagine a world in love with itself. I prefer to be in spiritual contemplation, not to deny what is appearing in the world, but rather to allow myself to wonder about the divine truth of it all. And then let that truth set you and I free from the bondage of what I see as ego in the world, and live in divine partnership with that truth. Would you like to know what the divine truth I've discovered? Would you like to know what that is? It's just one word. And this one word is the elixir for all ailments and discord. It's love. Just love. I know that when the basis of all our life's decisions are based in love, and only love, guess what? Only love shows up. Ernest Holmes defines love thusly, quote, "Love is the self-givingness of the spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation," end quote. I'll say that again. Love is the self-givingness of the spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. I've learned in over 30 years of studying the principles of science of mind that we are creation creatures. Each of us stirs up and into a creative field that is subject to us as individuals. What does that mean? We get to choose. We get to choose whatever it is we conjure in our mind, whatever we stir up, so to speak. And whatever idea we engage in, combined with our emotional energies that we place into that field, that creative field, it kicks off our next great adventure, doesn't it? And it's perfect in its manifestation because we chose it. You chose yours, I chose mine. It's perfect in its manifestation because you and I, as the football player kicking a great field goal, we score. We score. We kick that decision through the goalpost of spirit, and it's right on target, always. And it always hits, always goes through. It's always a score. We always get points for it. And love for me is the emotion and mental atmosphere that I choose to score into my creative ideas and into my life. One of my favorite placards in my office is by Oliver Wendell Holmes. And on it says, love is the master key that opens the gates of happiness. Love is the master key that opens the gates of happiness. And I just am reminded of that every single day. You know, those type of reminders that work for us individually, I urge you to find one that works for you and have it in plain sight every single day, somewhere or all over the place or wherever you need to be reminded. And you can have this one. Love is the master key that opens the gates of happiness. Each of us get to choose. And we get to choose from a plethora of emotional ingredients to our happiness, and then add them to our experience in creation. In Science of Mind, this creation is referred to as the creative process. And I liken the creative process, because this works for me in my mind, I liken it to a chef preparing a meal. Do we want it delicious and savory? Do we want it tangy and spicy? Do we want it sour? Do we want it bitter? Well, it's all in our well-stocked pantry of choice in our mind. My friends, did you know that spirit is overstocked just for us? Overstocked. There's no shortage. There's nothing missing. And each of us has ultimate access and limitless credit in Spirit's pantry. I came up with an idea during all of this. Of course I did, because I wonder a lot. Each of us has been gifted at conception with the abundant card, with the 4-letter authorization code. I bet you can guess what that 4-letter code is. LOVE, love. And so, what are you accessing with your credit? More love from your pantry of choice? One of the top ideas from Science of Mind is that we are always at choice. Always at choice. And if my choice doesn't taste really well right now for some reason, all it is an awareness. And I get to choose something else. I get to create a new recipe. I get to create a new savory or a sweet or whatever I choose. So open up the portals to your mind and consider wisely as you cook up something for yourselves. Ernest Holmes writes in this book, Love and Law, on page 171, and I quote, "We are what we are because of that which we are. It gives us a basis upon which to work in order that we may become something of which we do not appear to be. We are what we are because of that which we are, gives us a basis upon which to work in order that we may become something more which we do not appear to be." He goes on to say, we have to self-analyze ourselves. The principle of this is universal subjectivity or universal receptivity, and is the stuff out of which everything is made. This is law. End quote. So here is how this universal receptivity showed up as I prepared for this morning's inspiration lesson. Well, the first thing I do is spiritual practice. I open up myself up to know and be led here for inspiration. And the second thing I do is I move around and look around. I'm up and down, round and round. I'm active. You know, spirit as me is active when I'm creating. So I get up and I look around and I listen to myself, even the TV sometimes, because after all, I'm immersed in spirit. And spirit is in and as and through me in all things. And so I simply allow myself to look and see and hear and be drawn to people, words, ideas, authors, and so forth. I used to try to figure it all out beforehand and just sit there and this is a project. Well, I changed project to pleasure. And once I changed it to pleasure, I love the process. I allow spirit to simply be itself through me. And there's always joy and love and wonder, as you can imagine. It's fun. It's really fun. And I get to learn more about this teaching, this beautiful teaching, and about me in the process. I often hear phrases and words and ideas that I don't understand. And so that begins my search. And for this lesson today, same. There were words that came to me and I asked myself, so I wonder what that's about for my lesson. And so what I do is I research. And there may be words and ideas in this morning's inspirational lesson that you don't comprehend as well as you would wish. And you can certainly contact me in person or in Zoom. And there are some classes being offered this September and in the fall. Because what I know about classes, there's either in person or in Zoom. There's nothing like a class to juice up the mind. It gets it working, it gets it creating. So whatever you do and however you do it with love, just love, just love. So as I was looking around yesterday, up and down, round and round, lo and behold, this showed up. It was on the television, and it was on the music channel called Soundscapes, which I love to have on for background. And here was the quote. It's by Lucille Ball. I always thought of her as just she was a wacky comedian, but wild red hair and all. But this was the quote. And of course, it's perfect for today. Love yourself first, and all else falls into line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done. Love yourself first, and all else falls into line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done. Thank you, Lucille Ball. Just perfect. Beloveds, the more you're able to fill your own reservoir of love, the greater your sense of self, of your spirit self, which is love. And my encouragement this morning, among many, is to allow that love to saturate all of that which surrounds you, like a tidal wave of adoring energy. Allow that love to saturate all of you and all of your affairs, because it creates this wash of adoring, loving energy. Over the many years of life that I've lived so far, just a couple, when I'm feeling low, down, or depressed, when I'm out of sorts and just plain cranky, instead of pointing my finger and spouting verbal unpleasantries out there, I more often go to truth, and that is to just love, and love me more first. I place myself in my room. You ever heard that expression, the child, go to your room? Well, that was good advice. I go to my room in my mind space, where all can be well, calm, and loving. And shortly, by golly, it is. It's lovely in the peaceful mind, because I remember who I am in this peaceful place of mind. And who I am is just love. And the more I remind myself and feel that and know that, shift happens. Back to revealing the love that each of us is at our core. So I've come up with 3 components of love, the three different sequential, I guess, or consecutive aspects of components of love. The first is the urge to love. Anyone ever had urges to love? The love of emotions toward a greater life. Find out what you love. Go to your room. Ask yourself, what do I love? And love those into your consciousness. And the second is the challenge to love. And that's moving away from the habitual mind, which can be disruptive, damaging, and diminishing. To get through and to be able to clearly choose new ingredients for your preferred outcome. To create a new experience. That is the challenge. Oftentimes, when we want something to be different, we run into our old beliefs, and those are the challenges of the habitual mind. We fall into the habit, the rote, the automatic response. But I go back to the urge of what it is we really, truly deserve, and it's love. And so that brings us to the third and final, which I call the result of love. It's just love. It's that simple. It's just love. Instead of crucifying, blaming, and shaming, ask yourself, where can I offer more love? Not only for what you see in the world around you, but also for you, for yourself. I ask you to close your eyes just for a moment and ask yourself, how can I nurture myself? How can I honor myself? The answer just might be, just love. Love yourself. Love yourself. I have a reading today from children's book by Josh Shelton titled Imagine a World. And I think it's very timely for what is going on in our world at this moment. And the author and illustrator of the book visited our center about, must be at least a year and a half to 2 years ago. And the author is Josh Shelton. The illustrator is Sam Colenza. And I'll see if I can get the book up here so you can see. Maybe not. Books don't do too well, do they? Oh, there it is. There it is. Love the heart. And it reads like this. Imagine a world. We're so glad we found you. Won't you please join our tribe? We're embarking on a most magnificent ride. If you're yet to notice our planet's in a jam, we must work together, heart to heart, hand in hand. She is rising from slumber to the shine of the sun. A great awakening has begun. A great change is upon us. Are you ready to begin? For this change to take flight, it must first come from within. So strap on your light boots, unbuckle your heart, free your mind. It's create with our imagination time. Imagine our seas, vibrant and free, no plastic or wasteful debris. Imagine a world with fresh water abound, where our food grows abundantly in rich, fertile ground. Imagine a world where our cars don't need gas, and our streets can return to lush lands of grass. Imagine all beings warm and fed, where every soul has a soft place to rest their head. Imagine a world where we reveal the secrets of the past, and planet Earth's magical mysteries are set free at last. Imagine a world where all beings have time to pursue their wildest dreams and abundantly shine. Imagine a world where we can visit the stars, play tag on the moon, and hopscotch on Mars. Imagine a world where real healing takes place and freedom engulfs the whole human race. We've traveled so far, but we're not done just yet. With our feet on the ground, let's pause to reflect. Can you imagine a world where united as one, we all stand, and love will be the only law of the land? Yes, I can. Imagine a world where I love all I see, and all I see loves me back when it looks at me. Sure, we may look different, all the yous and me's, but if you go deep within, we're all the same. Oh, yes, indeed. You may be gigantic and hairy, have wings like a fairy, or the ears of a small garden gnome. But whatever your shape, color, or size, we all share planet Earth as our home. She is asking us to answer her call, because where we go one is where we go all. The moment is now. The time to wait is no more. We are the ones we've been waiting for. I imagine this world, yet deep down within, I can remember this world and I will create it again. We're all creators here to create. And these creations of ours, well, they just can't wait. So from the tip tops of our mountains to the deepest depths of our seas, we have all imagined this world, and so it will be. I invite you to take a breath in, allowing your awareness to be in this present moment, and repeat after me. And so it will be. And so it is. How was that? Continuing to just love. Beloveds, I'm dedicating today's lesson to Martha Dunbar, practitioner emerita. She oozed love, just love. I remember her on Sundays at the front door of our center, and she called everyone that came through the door by these two words: hello, love. Hello, love. I have embraced a new role for me at the center, that of usher creator combined with Sunday service coordinator. And it is in the spirit of Martha, that hello, love, that our center will welcome you in person this next Sunday. So you are invited in the spirit of Martha, in the spirit of love, to bring your love here, to add it to the recipe of Spirit's goodness, and to savor the celebration that awaits. Please know that you are loved, that no matter the appearance in the world, you can go into your room of the perfect mind that is within you and reveal a greater sense of love that always resides there. Always resides there. And the urge is to let that love shine. So be the love, beloveds. Namaste. And so it is.